Sometimes being a paramedic wears thin, and I develop the urge to tell people what I think of them. By people, I mean dispatchers, firefighters, partners, coworkers, supervisors, nurses, physicians, other drivers, bystanders, random neighborhood dogs, patients, 911 callers, people in charge of making the roads generally smooth, people in charge of road signs, people in charge of radio song selection, family members, restaurant employees, and the list goes on. The list of people who should loudly and proudly be told what I think of them is long and illustrious. These situations come up most often when I'm hungry, tired, or have been working too much overtime. I'm Angry Bill, and this is Pre-Hospital Wisdom. We understand that medicine's medicine, but pre-hospital providers have special skills, knowledge, and culture that other providers don't have. Let's raise the bar here a little. Do me a quick favor. Click the like button if you like this. If you really like it, tap subscribe. It helps more than you realize, and I would definitely appreciate it. Going back to the idea of mental health and burnout, I see an odd pattern. Call volume, call type, and such things that we think make a good or bad call have little effect on my attitude. My attitude revolves around how full my belly is, how sleepy I am, and how much overtime I've worked in the last month. A call that exasperates me when I'm hungry or hangry is a funny call when my belly's full. That leads me to believe that call volume is less important than having enough time between calls to eat. Anyway, what's the point, Angry Bill? Let me explain. Don't worry, I have a plan for the Speak My Mind urge. I have a note page on my phone with a whole bunch of reminders for me to read when I have a bad day. It's a dorky thing to do, I know, but sometimes I need to remind myself that EMS is not a hard job. Roofing is a hard job. Don't volunteer to go back to roofing. Another one reminds me that my daughter thinks being a paramedic is heroic and reminds me to act like she's watching me when I'm on a call. I have 10 or 15 affirmations like that. I just read through them when I feel the nearly bottomless well of patience that I have for my fellow man start to run out. Those reminders have saved me from showing my ass more than once. One says, quote, "You can't fix anything, don't try," end quote. I think it's my favorite reminder, which is weird because it's pretty negative and apathetic on its surface. It feels like failure and submission. But I know what I meant when I wrote that. I know that I meant system-wide EMS-related things that irritate me can't be fixed. At least the solutions don't come from my partner and me in the front of an ambulance. Every conversation about how things would be different if I were in charge may as well be whispered into the wind. Nobody cares about my personal opinion of post locations, response times, external agency co-response, EMD, and protocols. Nobody cares what I think about the overall skill level of EMS as a whole or of my system itself. Certainly nobody in other agencies care what I think of their systems, policies, customs, and employees. I was a captain with grown-up responsibilities, and nobody cared then either. They certainly don't want my opinion now that I'm back to being a knuckle-dragging street medic. I don't think people really care what the chief thinks when you get right down to it. That's because an EMS system, especially a large one, is like an oil tanker. Steering inputs take a long time to take effect. Deciding to turn the wheel or advance the throttles can have huge consequences that extend outside of the ship itself. Systemic changes, then, are the results of discussion amongst groups of stakeholders over long periods of time. I can be involved in that, but it's unlikely that I can either personally initiate that process or have a measurable impact on it. There are things that I can fix, though. I do try to fix those. That's where the importance of the reminder note lies. Fear, pain, worry, grief, loneliness, cold, discomfort, those are things that I can fix. I can concentrate on fixing those on every call for each patient on an individual level. Lessening pain and fear are easy for me to do for a patient. Setting a patient at ease, smiling, giving them a blanket, and administering analgesia costs me almost nothing. It is what I am paid to do. And I can ameliorate those problems that my patient is having without going to several city council meetings first. By attacking the problems that I can solve, I'm actually helping to steer the EMS oil tanker. My actions help to set the expectations among my patients, peers, and other stakeholders in regards to how my EMS system performs. Concentrating on the core EMS functions result in the systemic problems taking care of themselves through cultural improvements over time. I can also help steer the tanker by giving newer paramedics and EMTs all the help and support I can give them, like someone gave to me once. We can talk about ECGs, pathophysiology, EMS hacks that make the job easier, how to start difficult IVs, the best route to the next call, and those kinds of things. It's like gently pulling on the oil tanker's steering wheel. As an aside, if oil tankers don't have a big wooden wheels with knobs on the end of it like a pirate ship, I'm going to be sad. Anyway, I get more out of talking to my partners about what's going on with the last patient than I do talking about why supervisor so-and-so shouldn't have ever been promoted. I decided not to worry about the EMS system until my work is done, fixing the patient-related things that need my immediate attention. Chiefs and medical directors are paid extra to worry about stuff like hiring practices, response times, and financial stability. Let them worry about that crap. I'll focus on the next patient I see. Why would I volunteer to worry for free when other people are being paid to worry? Instead, my note reminds me to concentrate on the problems that I have the responsibility and authority to manage on my own. That's why, quote, "You can't fix anything, don't try," is one of my favorite notes. Let me know what you think of this. You can comment or send an email to the address in the description. If you found any value at all from this video, please click the like and subscribe. One of the most helpful things you can do is share this content with someone you know. Click over here for another video, or click over here for the channel page and all videos. Subscribe's a button below, and I'm trying to hit 1,000 subscribers. I'm Angry Bill. This is Pre-Hospital Wisdom. And until next time, stay safe.